What's up, boys and girls? This is Lance White, and you are watching WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm WB Billy Bujo, joined by two of my old buddies here. First off, it's the Shining Star Rick Starr. Rick, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. I just got some great news. Finally got my own place, and now I'm out on my own.
Awesome, awesome. We also have the Studley man, Ashley. Ashley, how you doing?
I would say I would find the Mexican that your breath smells like dog poo, but if you don't know that reference, you will do on Friday. Just saying.
Anyway, we're going to take a look at Monday Night Raw for the week of August 13th, 2012. Now, we open up the show with Big Show and CM Punk. I thought this was a very decent match, in my opinion. Could be a main event on any pay-per-view as far as I'm concerned. But here's the thing, from what I noticed right off the get-go, is the fact that they had Daniel Bryan out there screaming no at everybody. I guess they're probably asking him if he was straight or not. But nobody got that joke. Anyway.
Yeah. I think he's bi.
Yeah. I think his brain went bye-bye. But I kind of saw what was happening. They were actually setting up what was going to be supposed to be a tag team main event. Or a matchup for later on in the evening. They had Daniel Bryan going in there. He assaults CM Punk, puts him in the no-lock, is what he calls it now. And then Big Show helps in the assault. And John Cena comes in, runs in, makes the save. And then next thing you know, lo and behold, AJ comes out and makes the match. I thought, pretty much saw what was going to happen. Big Show, Daniel Bryan versus John Cena and CM Punk.
How could they coexist? They're taking on each other on Sunday. Ah!
Was what a certain Gohan would probably say. As far as this opening matchup is concerned, I thought it was still pretty decent in my opinion, so I'm going to give it a decent score. I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5 on this one. Actually, what are your thoughts?
3, because it was just storyline for what was happening later.
Exactly. Next up, they pan the backstage. We got JTG talking with Caitlyn Hotness. I'm talking about Caitlyn, not JTG. No comments. Anyway, next thing you know, he makes a remark about AJ. I wasn't able to catch what was going on, but next thing you know, JTG is in a match with the old pink eye himself, Ryback. I'm really still surprised, Rick. I'm really still surprised that JTG still has a job in the WWE.
Well, we talked about this offline. I'm going to tell you, JTG's only real big problem, for one, is his gimmick, and secondly is that, he's being held down, I think, by management. I've seen him, wrestle in a few other matches, and he does have some great wrestling skill. I don't know what they're doing right now, if they're just leaving him as a jobber, which, unfortunately, that's where his status is. And you can tell he's getting frustrated if you've been reading some of the news bits. He's one of the more louder people, and eventually that's going to get him released.
Yeah.
On the flip side, where you see Ryback's been getting a great push, but I'd like to see him really do some real competition.
Exactly. I mean, we had the opportunity with him and Jack Swagger a few weeks ago. That would have been a real good match, but it just turned into a beatdown of sorts. As far as this match goes, actually, I'm going to go average on this one. This Ryback beating up on a jobber. Even though it's an established jobber, at least it's not a no-name jobber like what Ryback was first doing. So I'm going to go probably 3 out of 5 on this.
5 out of 5 for me, because Ryback was like Abraham Washington in the Dole Queue, dominating.
Oh, God. Next up, we have the one-man band, and I'll never do that again. Heath Slater taking on R-Truth with Little Jimmy.
57 states, 5 are we made up.
I live in 3 of those.
Oh, God. Anyway, It's basically Heath Slater getting his butt kicked again, this time by R-Truth. But what was really, I think the whole purpose of this is they had the primetime players come out and actually beat down R-Truth, apparently to try to build more into this tag team title match, which apparently we're probably going to have at SummerSlam between the primetime players and Kofi Kingston and R-Truth.
Yeah, that's obviously the setup. As far as the whole thing, we know what's going on with AJ Washington as to why he was released, and you know, I think it's a bunch of garbage. The WWE's just, you know, getting way out of hand, and they're just making things too issue. You know, they're firing for the simplest things. I know that Linda McMahon's campaign is running. The match itself and the whole thing set up 3 out of 5, but I think they just should have reprimanded AEW because he really was pushing this tag team along very well.
I think they released AEW because they were worried that when they got the titles, he was going to say "stick it on my fuzzy finger."
Oh my God! I'm going to go 3 out of 5 on this one as well. It was a decent match in itself. I really can't say anything bad about it. But next up, we had Sin Cara and Tensai, and the matchup I think lasted just about as long as a WWE Divas match. And Sin Cara gets the win, and poor Sakimoto gets the raw end of the deal by getting beat up by Tensai again. Way to go, WWE, for promoting your Be a Star campaign. Tensai was about 300 pounds heavier than Sakimoto when he's soaking wet, and just have him just get the crap beat out of him.
Keep in mind as well what happened with Tensai 2 weeks ago with his tout account.
Oh, well, yeah. You got that right.
So apparently he likes bullying Asian people.
Now I have a quick question. Now when Tensai first came in, or as A-Train as I like to call him, because we all know him as A-Train.
A-Train
first came in
version
the
2.0.
WWE, there was big rumors that he was supposed to be getting a push, possibly even to a title run. That was the rumor, but let's face it, for the past couple of weeks, he's just been getting his ass kicked. What do you guys think about that?
Well, that's all thanks to his tout account, I would think.
I don't think that's so, because, you know,
well,
I think, as we all know, our good friend Andy and I have talked about that. We said that, you know,
well, here's the thing, though. Well, here's the thing.
He's going to get his ass kicked from day one.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. I personally believe that the Tensai gimmick is just not getting over on the WWE crowd. And if the gimmick gimmick doesn't work, then the WWE is not going to push him. You know, they got the WWE.
Technically, Ryback isn't getting over.
Oh yeah, well he wasn't at first because they were chanting Goldberg nonstop. But now look at him now. He just raises up his arms up and down, and the whole crowd goes.
You notice why that is?
Yeah.
You notice what he received last night?
What?
A new entrance fee.
Really?
Yeah, feed me more. Yeah, he did.
Feed me more.
Yep.
It's like the Heidenreich one. It's trying to get the chant going.
Well,
it doesn't have Paul Heyman on it going, "What are you doing?"
Oh,
yeah. And believe it or not, I mean, for the past couple of weeks, they have been saying "feed me more." If you watch them, they even have signs. Feed me. Now, of course, I'm sure that's WWE, you know, handing out the signs. But you do see them saying "feed me more." They do raise their hands and, you know. But again, Ryback has the ability. I just wish he would do more to see a real competition. Now, over the past couple of weeks, he's been fighting. What's his name?
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal. Thank you very much. I would like to see something that progresses a little bit more. Are we possibly seeing a SummerSlam match between these two?
They are having a match at SummerSlam.
Yeah. It is officially. Okay, my apologies. I didn't catch all for us past week.
Well, as far as Raw's concerned right now with Sin Cara versus Tensai, I'm going to go 3 out of 5 on this one. I would have liked to see Sin Cara and Tensai go a little bit longer than the way they did, but I will say this, for as much as I badmouthed Sin Cara a couple of months ago on one of my videos, he has dramatically improved to me. I mean, he's not botching as much as he's done. His entrances have been looking a lot better, and he's been looking a lot more fluid in the ring, in my opinion. So I got to give it up to Sin Cara. He has really turned it around, and he's really started to step it up. To you know, in my eyes, he's really starting to step it up. Ashley, what do you think?
All I'm going to say is, you wait till Friday, people.
Uh-oh.
You wait till Friday. If you had any doubts about Sin Cara, wait till Friday.
And you might start having doubts. Anyway, we had a Piper's Pit on this week's Monday Night Raw, and the fans got the chance to pick whoever the guest was going to be, and man, did they...
No, they didn't.
Well, we had Y2J, we had The Miz, and we had Dolph Ziggler. And apparently Y2J won the vote, but here's how the way WWE played it out. Everybody came out anyway.
Let me ask you a question, guys. Who was your pick, personal pick, to come out?
Jericho.
Jericho? Who was yours, Ashley?
It would have been probably both Jericho and Ziggler.
See, yeah, I picked Ziggler.
Really?
Yes.
Well, it still would have panned out the exact same way because everybody still came out, which led to a really great triple threat match following that Piper's Pit with Dolph Ziggler, Chris Jericho, and The Miz. This was a really good matchup for Monday Night Raw. Great match. Yeah. Ziggler looked really good. Jericho looked awesome. Miz looked awesome. Ziggler gets the win over Jericho. Jericho had The Miz in the walls of Jericho. Ziggler comes up from behind, gives him the zigzag, and gets the pin. But by far, this was a really great match leading up until SummerSlam between Ziggler and Jericho. And, well, for Miz, I really don't know. He's defending his Intercontinental title, I heard, against Rey Mysterio. I'll give my thoughts on that when I do a breakdown video of SummerSlam. But anyway, as far as this match goes, really great triple threat match in my opinion. I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on this one, Ash.
The match itself, I give 4 out of 5 as well. Probably 4 out of 5. But the Piper's Pit... Was Roddy Piper on the Marriage of Iguanas? You know, he just seemed out of it. He just... There's the bit when you're wearing pink. I was amateur champ 4 years running. What?
Yeah.
And also, when the segment starts, what is the first thing that Piper brings up? Weren't you the guy that beat the shit out of me at WrestleMania a few years back? And then, you know, Jericho's like, no. And then as well, when it was talking about the colour of the pink, Jericho saved it by going, yes, nice summer colours. Jericho is back in his essence, and that was the only thing that saved it. And to be quite honest, Ziggler had a point as well, because... if he is going to beat him, if he is going to beat him, Piper's Pit needs some work, or it needs less drugs.
I think he is on a lot of painkillers from his back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which painkillers might not be Marriage of Iguanas, but they have the same effect. You get fucked up.
Oh my god.
But on a serious note, like I say, as far as Jericho has actually stated a couple of times on interviews, he is really big on Ziggler. He does really, despite the whole feud. And this is the thing, we talked earlier about getting out of kayfabe, and yet these two are supposed to be in a real heated rivalry where they don't respect each other, but yet Jericho has nothing but respect for this guy. And so that's just food for thought, guys.
Well, here's some food for thought. The next up was a Divas match. We had Caitlyn and Layla taking on Beth Phoenix and Eve Torres. I gotta call Layla and Beth Phoenix out on something. They were attempting a spot with a gorilla press slam. Layla was supposed to look like it was going to be a counter with a sunset flip, and it almost looked like they nearly lost it on the sunset flip because apparently it looked like Beth Phoenix might have lost her balance or something. I really don't know who to call it out on, so I'm calling it out on both of them for a botch, which almost looked like it would have ended up with Beth Phoenix with a broken neck, Ash.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, of all the people that you could have, it wasn't really an interesting thing.
Not really.
Because all it's building towards is the Caitlyn versus Eve thing, and to be quite honest, I think we all know what's going to happen on SmackDown.
Yeah. Well,
it's kind of obvious because somebody has previous experience of being in the company. The other one doesn't have as much experience. Who do you think they're going to go for, considering you've already got Booker T and Teddy Long?
I think they're going to go with the one with the bigger cleavage. And Caitlyn wins by far.
Hang on. Am I going to have to get a bath and get the buoyancy to see how much water spills out and measure it to see who actually has the bigger cleavage?
I don't know. You know what I am?
I'm going to use science, people.
Yes. Well, for the record, I wouldn't kick either one out of bed.
Oh, Lord. As far as this match goes, not very interesting. I'm going to go 2 out of 5 on this one, Ash.
I agree.
Yeah, 2 out of 5. I wouldn't kick them out of bed. I'd just lock them up in the closet and keep them for later.
Eve Torres might like that.
Oh!
Next up was
pains in there.
one of the featured matches of the night was CM Punk and John Cena taking on Big Show and Daniel Bryan. Very interesting match. Couple of things to call out. John Cena learned how to throw a Muay Thai knee and deliver a bulldog. You may know the 5 moves of doom, but you suck when it comes to pulling out a bulldog. I mean, good God. Even CM Punk could pull off a shoulder block, but John Cena couldn't freaking do a bulldog? God.
For a minute, I thought you were going to say, be careful how you pull out a hot dog.
Oh, Lord. I know how to pull out a hot dog, that's for sure.
It's the show, so I guess you could say pull out a hot dog.
But I still thought it was a decent match despite John Cena screwing up the bulldog. Nice finish with John Cena and the AA and Daniel Bryan, and it looked, after the match was over, it looked like Big Show was going to attack Cena, and CM Punk comes in and intercepts with the WWE Championship to the face of Big Show, where it looked like the face, but it looked like it was really the shoulder. Still very interesting match in my opinion. I thought it was a really good worked tag match, even though John Cena botched up the knee and the bulldog. I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5 on this one, Ash.
I'd say 3.5 as well. Keep in mind as well, the SummerSlam match with those 3 has 3 heels and 2 faces.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, since you mentioned 3 heels and 2 faces, and I'm assuming you mean that CM Punk is both a heel and a face.
As is Cena. And Big Show's kind of obvious. If anybody thinks he's a face, then they're idiots.
Yeah. I mean, where do you think that CM Punk is going with this? Do you think he's trying to be the straight edge society, the kind of self-entitlement person, or do you think he's really a face and nobody understands him? What do you think?
Well, as of late, to be honest with you, to me, the face CM Punk really, he was really being overshadowed by the John Cena gimmick, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and I think that's he's kind of saying, "Oh, I want to stand in I want to stand in the spotlight. I'm the championship type thing." I think that's why he's kind of like the whole anger thing. So maybe after SummerSlam, if he retains the title, we might see him kind of like slowly revert.
Possibly.
Or if he loses it, we can see him get even worse and can become a full-fledged heel. I think that's what the WWE's kind of like testing the water, so to speak.
Well, technically, right now, it's safe to say right now, CM Punk is what's called a hard face. You know, and that's...
Yeah.
But John Cena possibly could be considered that too, with the fans, you know, split down the middle. A lot of fans, you know, 50% of the fans hate him, 50% of the fans cheer him, and 50% can't pull their thumbs out of their butts for no apparent reason. I really don't know what else to say.
Billy's very good at math.
Yeah, pretty much. But at least I can spell. You guys don't get that anyway.
No, I was just thinking of whether you're better or worse than Scott Steiner.
Oh Lord. Well, speaking of something that was worse, we had Damien Sandow taking on Christian. Boy, how far has Christian fallen out of the good graces of the WWE as of late? I mean, he comes back.
Can I just say this? He has not fallen far enough. I'm sorry. He should have never left TNA. Period.
Actually, do you agree with that?
My only view is if he was only getting $15,000 a year at TNA, but is getting like $60,000 a year. You know, we don't know what the their wages are for annual thing, but
maybe you're right, but also let's look at this.
Twilight.
Okay.
The Twilight of career that he's at, I think he'd prefer to get lots of money being mid-card, but occasionally getting a shine in the sun. But rather than work less shows, admittedly, but getting much less money due to the situation that TNA is apparently in at the minute.
Well, you know, the way I see it, okay, yeah, he can make less. I mean, less money. I don't know, like I said, how much he made when he won the world title. Because he won it not once, but did he win it twice? If I'm not mistaken.
I think he might have. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he might have.
Okay, let's. But I mean, I know he won at least once. A solid, you know, and you know, let's face it. When he won the world title at WWE, that was a joke. I'm sorry, both times were just a joke. He held them both times combination for what, maybe 2 months?
At best.
Yeah. So if you can't do that, I'm sorry. There's no reason for him to be there. You know, and he's just. Yeah, I think he got injured. He was out for a while, and he just keeps on getting his ass kicked. And you know what, Damien Sandow, I said it before again. I think he is a phenomenal wrestler, and I think he can actually move up. He reminds me very much of. He has a wrestling style of Randy Savage. I wouldn't call him a Randy Savage with his current gimmick. His gimmick definitely has to go, but he definitely had a wrestling style.
Wrestling style of Savage, I would say yes and no. Yes and no. Because it does have the makings for it, but I really wouldn't call it, you know, a Randy Savage style of wrestling that Damien Sandow does. Now, maybe it's a certain style that I haven't seen much. I know Sandow was big over in FCW, but I'm still wanting WWE to at least make Damien Sandow's matches longer than a WWE Divas match, because I really want to see what Sandow can actually bring to the table. Yes, he has good mic skills. I will admit that. And he has, it looks like a good repertoire of wrestling moves that he can use in the ring, but the WWE, for some reason, is just not letting Sandow showcase his abilities, and I really want WWE to get their heads out of their own butts and let Sandow showcase what he can do.
Well, no, it is, because they do wrestling moves, and the WWE doesn't know. They say, oh, it's a move. They don't know what move to call anymore. They don't know what wrestling moves are anymore. Let's face it. TNA, they can call it a wrestling move against, you know, a side lock. They can call it, you know, a snap, you know, power body, you know, power slam. They just say, oh, what a maneuver.
Yeah.
What a maneuver. You know?
You'll never hear me say that on a GCW commentary, that's for sure. As far as Damien Sandow versus Christian goes, I'm just going to go average score on this one. I'm going to go 3 out of 5. Ashley, your thoughts? And we might be having some technical difficulties with Ashley.
Well, what I found a little bit more interesting is that what's his face, Franken came out afterwards, and that was more the promo, and I thought he was going to come in and pretty much beat the shit out of him, but it didn't. But,
Brodus Clay.
Brodus Clay, thank you. And I do not understand about
sense though, because obviously the word is that the film that Brodus is involved with is coming out soon.
Oh, really?
And in that film, he's a bad guy.
Oh.
So there's no point in having, oh look, I'm a good guy, you know, somebody's going to call my mama. And then it's like, no, somebody's going to call the police because you're a serial killer in this movie out now. You know, when the whole see no evil thing happened with Kane, they kind of made him heel during that time when they were doing it.
Well, yeah.
It's like if Hornswoggle is going to be involved in the Leprechaun reboot, Hornswoggle's going to go here.
Wait till Leprechaun. I don't know what to say about that.
Pretty much confirmed. Hornswoggle is going to be Leprechaun. which is sad because it should be Warwick Davis.
Oh, Lord. We're watching the Leprechaun movie. Ha 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 ha.
Well, no, because he can talk now.
Well, yeah, that's true, but
he isn't as good as Warwick Davis, because, you know, Warwick Davis has been in the business since, I don't know, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
30 years. Slightly more experience, you know, just saying.
Well, as we delve out of a movie review and get back into Monday Night Raw, let's talk about the big thing that everyone's been talking about, and that's the contract signing that took place between Triple H and Brock Lesnar, and what happened pursuant to that, and that's what happened with Brock Lesnar and Shawn Michaels.
I thought you meant Linda McMahon being elected or chosen as the candidate for Connecticut.
That'd be for a political YouTube channel, and I'm not too political.
Well, it's not political. It's the reason for PG, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, some people would say that, but we could save that for another video and another time. Well, that's for sure, because I'm pretty sure that we would all have a lot to say on that subject. But
we'll just.
Also, it'll be a 5-minute video, and everybody would just say the F word nonstop about Linda McMahon being in the. But anyway, go ahead.
5 minutes is not enough.
Not enough F words.
No.
10 minutes then.
Maybe. We'll have to time it and find out. You know.
Yeah. But let's get back to this contract signing. We had the official contract signing with Triple H and Brock Lesnar, and then we saw. I really don't know what to call it. You know, next thing you know, we pan backstage. Apparently, Shawn Michaels says he wants nothing to do with this, I believe, and he starts walking off. And then the next segment, we have Big Show, who was also walking backstage. He was being interviewed for what happened in his match earlier with CM Punk and John Cena. And then next thing you know, we see Shawn Michaels, who looked like he was almost in a car accident, with Paul Heyman. And then we see Lesnar just show up out of nowhere, supposedly, and drags Shawn Michaels out of the car, and then accidentally, again, I have that up in quotation marks, knocks out the cameraman, so all we're seeing is pitch black, but we're hearing the sounds, and I believe Mick37, who was on Skype with me and Ashley last night, said it sounded like Brock Lesnar was shot Shawn Michaels. And next thing you know, we come back from commercial break, there's chaos everywhere, and Triple H is wondering, you know, he's asking everybody, where's Michaels? Where's Michaels? AJ tells him that Brock Lesnar kidnapped Shawn Michaels, who then, go ahead.
The clever thing as well is, they went back and they showed a replay of what happened before the break, and handily, the bit where it went black suddenly appeared.
Yeah.
And you actually saw him being attacked. So basically, they left you on a cliffhanger going, what the hell had just happened? Because they intentionally wanted to show it after they came to break, because they knew, because of the time constraints.
Well, yeah. But next thing you know, we see Lesnar carrying Shawn Michaels to the ring, who receives an F5, and then I'm sure if Mick was on this call right now, he would be cursing up a storm, because he absolutely hates the way Brock Lesnar executes the Kimura now. He hated it when he did it on Triple H back in April, and he absolutely hated the one he did on Shawn Michaels, because he said it was absolutely horrible the way he executed it. But it's basically led to Triple H coming out, Heyman warning Triple H not to take another step or break the arm. Lesnar breaks the arm anyway. Triple H storms the ring. Lesnar runs.
Oh my God! You broke his arm!
Yeah, and that's what Heyman was saying. That's exactly what Heyman was saying. And I will tell you this. If Triple H and Lesnar is not the main event and is not the featured match of SummerSlam, after everything they've been doing and everything they've been putting into it, I will tell you this. I will be quite pissed.
Surely you should be relieved.
Really?
Well, keep in mind, ever since the Royal Rumble, you know who's been in every single main event this year?
John Cena.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was in the main event at Extreme Rules.
The fact is, if it is Triple H versus Lesnar tomorrow night, technically, both guys will have made history, because neither of them have seen it.
Yeah. But, as far as this thing goes, I'm going to go 5 out of 5 on this. It was by far one of the most interesting segments of the night, and it really plays in a lot to what could possibly happen at SummerSlam with Triple H and Lesnar when they finally do lock up. If I do remember correctly, I believe they stated in that contract they had a hold harmless agreement for Lesnar. I think, didn't they do that with John Cena as well?
Probably.
I can't really recall, but Ashley, what are your thoughts on that contract signing?
4 out of 5, because it should have happened immediately.
Really?
Because obviously when the contract was signed, that was like they can't touch each other till SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So what he should have done was grab Shawn Michaels then and there and took him out then. Because obviously Triple H was helpless.
Rick, you have any thoughts?
I think Rick went away for a minute. But the other thing you could also look at it is you could have even had another, not even a squash match, but have another match with some of the other talent. Instead of just have absolutely nothing happen with, because that whole thing with Michaels and Triple H and Lesnar and Heyman went for half an hour.
Yeah, it did.
The last half an hour was just that, which I understand, but the method they did it shouldn't have happened like that.
Well, yeah, you do have a point on there.
It should have been contract signing, whole kind of shit going down with HBK, and then the whole, even take him in the ambulance, and as it drives off, with the sirens blaring, Triple H is there,
Yeah.
livid at what's happened, but obviously that leaves it open to interpretation as to what happens a few months down the line. Because you heard Michael say, "Get away from me," when Triple H went to see how he was.
Wasn't he also saying it to the medical people, too?
That as well, yeah.
Well, overall score on this week's Monday Night Raw, I'm going to go 4 out of 5. I thought it was a very decent show. I thought it was a good opening with Big Show and CM Punk, although quite predictable on the setup for the tag match. I really enjoyed Piper's Pit with Jericho, with a triple threat match.
Marriage of Iguanas.
The triple threat match with Ziggler, Jericho, and Miz was just as good. The tag match with Punk, Cena, Show, and Bryan was really, really well. And even though it shouldn't have taken up half an hour, like you said, it was still a very interesting segment, and by far the most interesting segment of the night involving Triple H, Lesnar, and Shawn Michaels. So I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on this week's Monday Night Raw. Ash, what about you? What are your final thoughts and your final score?
Probably to be pernickety, I'd have to say 3.75. Because it was really, there was enough things to make, with the whole Piper's Pit, which went off key, and a few of the matches kind of, you expect squash matches, but the Divas match was really nothing.
Unnecessary at most.
And I just thought that was, you could have had a Santino match, unless that's on Superstars, but then not many people are going to watch Superstars because it's on the internet.
Yeah, I hate to say it, if it's on the internet, I really don't watch it. Unless if it's on TV, because I DVR it and I watch it when I have the time. Otherwise, I hate watching stuff on the internet. After watching stuff for more than 5-10 minutes, I just lose interest, and that's just the way it is. When the WWE gets a network, I might watch it. I might give it a shot. Whether I like it or not, I don't know. Some people would call that ignorant. Some people say, "Oh, you're not a true wrestling fan." I like to watch what I like to watch.
Yeah, we all have our own personal preferences for that.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't. I know there's old saying, "Judge, lest ye be judged," or something like that.
Yeah. I think, but I've been watching wrestling since I was 5 years old.
Same here. Same here. So,
I'm 40 now. So, but I know what I like. And anyways, I'm sure like Ring of Honor is excellent. I mean, good. I've watched a couple of matches online, but I've never followed it. I don't. If you ask me who's in it now, I think Colt Cabana's in it, only because CM Punk's mentioned him. Other than that, I don't know who's in it. I think also Shelton Benjamin's in it, right? Yeah, the world's greatest tag team. Yeah. Yeah, they're in it too. Oh, both of them are in it now? Yeah. Oh. See, I don't even remember his other name. Charlie Haas. Charlie Haas, thank you. Well, as far as Monday Night Raw goes, from what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, what do you think on Monday Night Raw this week? Do you agree with our ratings, or do you have a different rating for Monday Night Raw? And if so, please tell us why. Be sure to put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. And please don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer, youtube.com/ZFXTV Network, and youtube.com/ZFXing. Don't forget to check out my old buddy DJ Yoles on youtube.com/TheFinalTapout. And by the way, guys, if you ever want me to do a shout out for your YouTube channel, be sure you put it in the comment section below, or send me a message here on YouTube, and I'll see what I can do up for you. So for the Stunning Man Ashley, the Shining Star Rick Starr, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.
GCW Gulf Coast Wrestling, where the bad boys play.
Gulf Coast Wrestling of Louisiana proudly presents its return to Abbeville as it presents the Back to School Brawl 2012, Saturday, August 18th at the Abbeville American Legion Hall. Come out and support Louisiana GCW as we bring you the most high, intense impact action that the state has to offer, including superstars like Scott Phoenix, Abbeville's own Flip, the Wolfman Jackson, the current GCW Tag Team Champions, Mustang Mike and Psycho Mike, the Dark Alliance. How will they retain their titles this show? Also, the GCW Extreme Champion SHARKBAIT, and the one and only man from Greenland. Yes, it's the Green Man. Also appearing, the GCW Heavyweight Champion, The Rocket. Now with the separation of high definition, AOT turned his back on the only one Sean Dunn. How will this dissipate in the show for Back to School Brawl? And the awaited arrival of two of the greatest GCW Zero Gravity champions in the history. Christian Blake and Blue Chipper set it off to go one-on-one to determine who faces the current GCW Zero Gravity champion, the Insane Machine, Cody Hawkins. All this and more at the Back to School Brawl. You can get your tickets at the door or call 772-8010, 517-6548, or 517-0823. Once again, Louisiana, this is GCW at its best. Coming back to Abbeville, August 18th, Abbeville American Legion Hall. Back to School Brawl 2012. You don't want to miss this, folks. You have every opportunity, so get your tickets now. This is action. This is adrenaline. This is GCW.